SpongeBob is one of the most iconic cartoons of all time now, but around 20 years ago, it was only a simple pilot and people didn't know what to expect from the show. Today I thought it'd be a cool idea to take a look back at the very first episode and see if it was a nice introduction to the series. This pilot's title is Help Wanted, and its plot is pretty self-explanatory. The Krusty Krab is looking for new workers, and SpongeBob has his eyes on the position of fry cook. He does his normal morning routine and heads down to the Krusty Krab where he meets Squidward and Mr. Krabs, who send him away almost immediately and hope to never see him again. But eventually, when there are a bunch of anchovies that show up in several buses looking for a meal, SpongeBob comes in to save the day and feed them all so Mr. Krabs gets lots of money.
That's right, one hydrodynamic spatula with port and starboard attachments, and let's not forget the turbo drive. Would you believe they only had one in stock?
Right away, you can tell that the storyline here is simple. It isn't anything too complicated, probably because it's a few minutes shorter than the average episode, and more time should be dedicated to introducing the characters because we'll be constantly seeing them throughout the rest of the series. For the first episode of SpongeBob, I definitely think it was nice to go with the idea of him looking for a job at the Krusty Krab. It's such a major part of the show, and he would be a much different guy if he worked somewhere else. By having the pilot surround him becoming a fry cook, it's setting up so many different episodes in the future. While Help Wanted is a simple story, does that mean it's automatically bad? No, not necessarily, although its simplicity could come off as boring to some people. If you went up to a random person on the street before SpongeBob was even a cartoon, and you asked them if they'd watch a show about a talking sponge applying for a job, chances are high that they wouldn't care for it. I mean, the concept for this show is so ridiculous that it was never even expected to become popular, but here we are today and everybody knows the name of SpongeBob. The first episode definitely didn't have a great story when compared to many others, which could turn off some people when watching. Let's talk a bit about the humor. There were a decent amount of jokes popping up every so often, although they were mostly amusing and not laugh out loud funny like almost every episode in the golden era of SpongeBob. There were some hilarious moments like the anchovies invasion and Patrick hyping his best friend up in order to get the job, but overall the comedy in this episode wasn't too strong. Yeah, the story and comedy weren't top tier, but we have to talk about the main thing that Help Wanted got completely right. It properly set up the crazy new world of Bikini Bottom and established many of the important characters right off the bat.
Oh no, SpongeBob. What could he possibly want?
Go SpongeBob! Go SpongeBob! Go Self! Ah!
Mr. Krabs! Hurry, Mr. Krabs, before it's too late. I gotta tell you about this.
Permission to come aboard, Captain!
I've been training my whole life for the day I could join the Krusty crew.
And now I'm ready.
We could see that SpongeBob himself was an energetic sponge, always staying determined to get what he wants, despite other people going against him. It was easy to notice how Patrick was a supportive but not really smart best friend. Squidward was manipulative and didn't really care at all for these two, and Mr. Krabs was in it for the money. Even though some of these character appearances were brief, they were enough to correctly set up everything that would come next. A pilot's main objective is to gain interest and suck viewers into this brand new universe, and SpongeBob did that perfectly. There were many other characters missing like Sandy, though she was still introduced in an extremely early season 1 episode, just not the first one. Overall, I would say Help Wanted isn't good or bad. Its biggest strength is that it got the job done in terms of welcoming viewers into the world of Bikini Bottom.
Is this any way to behave? Can we show a little decency and form a neat single-file line in front of the register?
There were some funny jokes, others were only amusing but still kept people watching. If I go back to check out all the episodes from the golden era, some of the earlier storylines including Help Wanted I wouldn't be dying to watch. This first SpongeBob episode wasn't amazing, but it is still essential for any fan to watch so they can understand just how life goes under the sea. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.